Welcome, everyone, to I Have Some Recs, the bonus content with suggestions and testimonials from media as recommended by us, the hosts of I Have Some Notes. I'm Liam.
I'm Scott.
I'm Greg.
And we've got some recs for you, some recommendations of good things we watch, not mediocre, but good.
Yeah, we all, here's the thing. I'm gonna give you a little peek behind the curtain. All three of us have really enjoyed Andor lately, but we have a whole episode we're about to record on it. So I'm just going to rip that Band-Aid off and say we do recommend it. Also listen to that episode. We're going to recommend some other stuff right now. Shall I open?
Please.
Sure. Yeah. I'm deeply into a TV show right now. It's a Netflix series, so it's very instantly bingeable because they just dropped the whole thing all at once. It came across Anita's feed actually as a recommendation because it kind of hits the stuff that she's into. And we decided to both take a chance on it, and we've been very much enjoying it. It is a murder mystery called The Residence. It is by the Shondaland Productions. So it stars Uzo Aduba, Giancarlo Esposito, Ken Marino, Randall Park. Like, it's just got this great cast of like goofy character actors. The shtick is there has been a murder at a state dinner at the White House. And so a consulting detective played by Uzo Aduba named Cordelia Cupp is brought in to try to solve it. And you're exactly the kind of eccentric consulting detective you'd expect her to be. Her shtick is that she's a bird watcher, so she's very observant. And she has the night of the state dinner to try to solve the mystery before everybody leaves the White House to go home. And it's framed in a congressional hearing about the investigation that night. And the lead senator in that investigation is played by Al Franken, which is just extra hilarious. Wow. It's a sharp, witty mystery. It's layered. Cousin Balky's in it as one of the chefs in the White House. Like, it's just got this great cast of eccentric people. It's got a whole bunch of like upstairs, downstairs drama between like the White House staff and the first family and the people who are working with them because they're two different like tiers of people. Mm-hmm. It's got like this weird geopolitical thing going on with the Australians. There's lots of little twists and turns. There's a whole bunch of suspicious activity going on because it's the White House. Of course there is. And it's just been a delight to watch. Now, I have not seen the end of it as of this recording, but I've been enjoying it so much and it's been living in my brain as I've been trying to puzzle it out. I have to recommend it. Go check it out. It's just been a delight to watch so far.
I love those kind of series, like you said, live in your brain where you'll be like in the shower thinking of this person you just met, this person that's a character in a show. Like, oh, that's such a so-and-so thing to do. I bet they're thinking like, yeah, it's neat how it kind of gets in your head like that.
Yeah, and as just an added little garnish, every episode is named after another murder mystery film. So like there's an episode that's Dial M for Murder, and an episode that's Knives Out, and an episode that's like The Trouble About Harry. It's just a delight. Yeah. That's my recommendation. Go check out The Residence if you haven't already. I think you might be, if you like murder mysteries, I think you might be happily surprised by it.
Far out. Will do. Thanks, Netflix. Yeah, it's wild how much Netflix stuff can be hit or miss. Like absolute gems buried for no one to see and absolute garbage at the top of the algorithm the whole time. Yep. You kind of just got to roll the bones on Netflix stuff.
Greg, what you got? No, sorry, Liam was going.
Oh, I'm picking another.
Liam, what you got?
Yep. Yeah, I have a film that a recent critics consensus on Rotten Tomatoes. It was like published by the like Rotten Tomatoes people of best 25 movies of the century was number 5. And that's sort of what pushed me to watch it because I'd seen everything else on the top of this. But it's called Portrait of a Lady on Fire. And it is a French film from 2019. And it's just one of the most profound, moving, emotional connections explored just through eyebrows I've ever seen in a film. I'm obviously being a little facetious, but it's about I gotta figure out what century it was set in. Doesn't matter. Like 100, 200 years ago, before electricity, but after pants.
Greg you can't see this, but Greg just did an actual spit take on camera.
that hang time might have been for me waiting to finish drinking his drink. So this woman is going to get married off to some guy she's never met, some other noble. And they can't get married unless someone paints a portrait of her. That's just how it goes. You got to get the wedding portrait done. And so she refuses to sit for any painter, and she's driven a bunch of guys away. So they get this lady to come in, and pretend to be her friend and try to like paint her in secret. And they end up falling in love with each other. And it's just these two, like, they're both gorgeous, but not in like, they're gorgeous women. Yes. But also their faces are just so interesting to see on film. And the movie is so much of just them looking at each other. And they have immaculate eyebrows, and they communicate so much with just these like longing looks at each other, that it is absolutely captivating for a movie that is ostensibly just two ladies kind of just smiling at each other. Right up to the very end, the final scene isn't a spoiler, but the final scene is like one of the most like breathless scenes in a movie I've ever seen. Like, it's the sort of tension and palpable anticipation that you normally say for like a horror movie or like a big action scene. Like, oh my God, if he falls, he's going to fall. But it's just whether or not she's going to turn her head and look at the camera while watching the opera.
I seem to remember, I seem to remember this movie doing or getting a lot of Oscar noms the year it came out.
Oh, was it? Okay,
I think
maybe
so.
I slept on it. Yeah.
I think it was. I don't think you were the only one who slept on it. I've not seen it. I didn't sleep on it, but I just never got around to it. But I remember it getting a lot of awards buzz and just having flown really under the radar. One of those movies that was really good that nobody saw.
I mean, not nobody, because I did go look up its accolades. Palme d'Or at the 2019 Cannes.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's a French movie at Cannes, like, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
But it it would have won that no matter where Cannes was held. Yeah. So it's also on CBC Gem, and Hoopla. One of the two library ones, but also CBC Gem, which if you're Canadian is free. There'll be ads. Actually, you know what? Don't watch it on CBC Gem. I can't imagine watching this movie where like every 15 minutes there's a Canadian Tire ad. I think that would ruin the whole experience. Get an uninterrupted stream or copy of it. Don't watch. Sorry, I normally am pro CBC Gem, but don't watch it on CBC Gem.
Do you get the ads even? I think if you pay for it, you don't get ads, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I already pay them with my tax dollars.
I'm not giving them any more money. I think it's funny that you're talking about, how expressive their faces are and things, because I was recently on an episode of talking about season 2 of Andor, and I went on this long rambling diatribe of trying to explain how much I loved the acting and how much they were saying things without saying them in Andor. And it went on so long for me to get to the point, and I got to the end of it and I'm like, I really hope he cuts that because it was so boring. And you managed to express that very quickly and eloquently. So props to that. I watched, my wife and I watched, The Towering Inferno recently, that 1974 disaster movie. Well, one of those things, that's kind of trying to fill a hole in my, cinematic oeuvre. It has a crazy cast: Paul Newman, Steve McQueen, Faye Dunaway, Fred Astaire, O.J. Simpson is in this movie, believe it or not. That brings up complicated feelings when that happens. But this movie is, I love love going back and seeing the different pace that that movies used to run at. You know, it's funny to me, like how a movie could be so much slower paced and calm, and yet still have the same, still feel extremely riveting, you know? So yeah, just everything in Hollywood now is just like very quick cuts. Like there's like, 5 cuts every 10 seconds. I see like, it's just like everything zips by. Plot is much tighter. Dialogue is faster, quippier and things. So it's enjoyable to see movies breathe. And it was like, honestly, like for a disaster movie made in the 70s with the sort of the limited special effects, it was kind of awesome. There's lots of great stunts, lots of great visuals. There's rich assholes making horrible decisions and paying for it wonderfully. It's a pretty good time. I quite enjoyed myself. So yeah, I'd highly recommend checking out The Towering Inferno if you have not seen it.
Sweet. That's definitely another classic that I also haven't checked off my list yet.
Yeah, Steve McQueen and the salad guy. Nice.
Who's the salad guy?
I think we've run into this in previous I Have Some Recs where we're like, oh, that does sound good. That's just like
blank.
That's why we keep them nice and tight. Like the end of this. Thank you for listening. If you're listening to this, of course, you're a patron. So thank you so much for contributing to the I Have Some Notes Patreon. You really do help make this viable.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm Liam.
I'm Scott.
I'm Greg. Bye.